All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to night two of the NFL Draft. My name is Tom Scavetta. I'm your host. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, make sure to check us out on all of our platforms here below that are listed on at Review and Preview Sports. We are live streaming this podcast to Facebook and YouTube of Review and Preview Sports and the Big Blue Avenue YouTube channel as well for all you New York Giants fans out there. The Philadelphia Eagles have just traded up to number 40 overall. Appreciate you all watching. We do apologize. We did go live a little bit late tonight, but I said we'd be on around pick 40. We just updated our social media. The Giants are picking at pick 47 tonight. The Jets will be picking soon again as well, but let's bring up our first guest of the evening, Brady Campbell of Puckin' Around. Brady, you're a big Islanders fan. You're down 3-0. How's it going?
Well, as far as that's concerned, not good at all. But the Giants salvaged last night a little bit with their pick. I like the Neighbors pick.
Absolutely.
He was definitely one of my top guys. I felt like I wanted the receiver the most, really any of those kind of top three guys or so. And Neighbors fell to us. I know there was a lot of talk with McCarthy. I didn't really want him. I didn't really want any quarterbacks. I mean, there were a few where I was like, okay, I guess, but definitely happy overall with the Neighbors pick, and I'm excited for night two. Although I'm sure the Eagles now trading up are going to get someone that's going to be a Giants killer for like the next decade, probably.
That's the way it works, right? The Eagles always screw over the Giants. Love to see that. Sam Cardona, the girl who talks sports, saying, hey, yo, what's up, Sam? Appreciate you with that comment. And since we do have a trade to announce, the Philadelphia Eagles have moved their way up 10 spots. I'd imagine, Brady, they probably gave up picks 50 and 53 for this.
Yeah, I would think so, probably too. Usually, especially like these kind of trades on night two, I feel like mainly any draft trades, but they're usually kind of just swaps when the picks are kind of near each other. So I'd imagine they gave up probably at least one of those kind of like mid-round picks that they have tonight to move up. But I'm assuming they have someone that they like that they wanted to jump up this high to grab him before he obviously possibly goes to another team.
Absolutely. Now, this I'm a little disappointed about. I know we're looking for a guy to pair next to Dexter Lawrence, and Braden Fisk going to the Rams kind of, leaves a dent in that hole. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. We're going to bring up our next guest here in a moment, also a Giants fan, live from his backyard in New Jersey. Good buddy of mine, coworker, fellow Giants fans. Anthony Econosti. Anthony, welcome. How are you doing? First and foremost, welcome. First-time guest. Happy to have you.
What's up, Tom? Happy to be here. Been watching the show for a while. Glad to finally make it on one of these shows. But yeah, I'm excited, man.
Love that. What did you think of last night with the Giants taking Malik Neighbors? Is that what you wanted? I know Brady's a big fan of it.
Yeah, I was also a huge fan of it. Obviously, there were the rumors of the J.J. McCarthy, which I would have just went to bed so angry if they did that. But, Malik Neighbors, I think is going to be a great fit for the team. They needed a big body receiver to get up and get those 50-50 balls. The only person that really had to do that was Slayton. He's still kind of undersized for receiver. So it's nice to see some help for Jones, especially. But, I was very happy with the pick. I thought it was a really good option for what this team needs. And yeah, I couldn't be more ecstatic about it.
No, absolutely. I agree. I'm still a semi-believer in Jones to a degree. For me, his health is what's most concerning with me rather than his play. But, there is an out in his contract after this year. Not a full out. You'll still accumulate some dead money. But the Philadelphia Eagles pick is in, and it's none other than Brandon Graham announcing the pick. That,
of course.
Very, very interesting. Giants killer.
Yeah. What else is new? They always do stuff like that.
Also, folks, if you're new, tuning in for the first time, any comments you have, there's a comments option below. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to share this podcast with your friends, family. Spread the link around. Appreciate you all. It's taking a while here to read this pick, huh? He's got it. The Cowboys
They
fans
always
go
do.
at him.
Takes 10 minutes for these guys to announce a single pick.
I think Tiki's announcing one of ours tonight.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So the Eagles get Cooper DeJean, cornerback out of Iowa. I mean, this is an absolute steal. I hate to say it. The Eagles desperately needed corner help. They decided to take James Bradbury a couple years ago off our hands. And quite frankly, Cooper DeJean's a guy who could play corner. He could play slot. He's very versatile. Had a really good career at Iowa. Brady, have you heard anything about this guy? I know he was supposed to be a first-round talent. I'm surprised he's still there.
Yeah, I didn't really hear a whole lot else from what you heard. Other than he was kind of possibly a first rounder, if not early second rounder, and I feel like we're getting towards the middle-ish of the second round now, and he was still there. And leave it to the Eagles to jump in and grab him. Of course, it's usually either them or the Cowboys. Usually the Eagles, and I'm like you guys. I'm still a bit of a believer in Daniel Jones, but I could just picture like the Cooper DeJean interception coming up this season. But yeah, I think this was a good pick for them.
Thoughts on drafting rookie Akwar Boafor? Noah, is that phonetic? I know he's a DT from Clemson, plays in the ACC, and Brady, your co-host, Noah Dog Dibler from Georgia, the great state of Georgia. Brady, Islanders are finished. What do you think about that?
I agree. I agree. I agree. It's definitely I was at the game last night, and it was perfect timing though, because they went to a commercial break right when the Giants were picking. So I had on my phone, I got to hear it. But no, yeah, the Islanders are done. I still got my Knicks, even though they lost last night. The Mets I don't know what they're doing so far. And the Giants, like I said, they kind of salvaged my night last night with them making the right pick, in my opinion, because it was a rough night otherwise with my other teams.
We have another trade to announce, fellas. Green Bay Packers have traded their pick to the New Orleans Saints.
What?
And they took Kool-Aid at 41.
Oh.
What do you think of that, Ant? Kool-Aid's supposed to be a first-round pick.
I mean, that's huge for the Packers. Obviously, their offense is looking pretty good towards the end half of the year, especially that, what was it, the divisional game against the Cowboys or wild card game against the Cowboys whenever they beat them down. So it's nice to see some help on the other side of the ball for Jordan Love as well. Take some pressure off him so he doesn't have to get into these shootouts all the time. But Packers, I believe, have a pretty decent secondary. So to see it get better, it's a little scary for those guys in the NFC North. But I think that's a good pick for them.
Alabama kid.
He
Kool-Aid.
He was one of the guys I was kind of hoping that the Giants maybe could get, especially after losing McKinney. Replace it with McKinstry. That's – and he's in the NFC too. I'm not sure if we're playing the Saints this year. I forget exactly what our opponents are, but yeah, I think that's a good pick by them.
Yeah, I like it too. Allowed just the 57.9 passer rating this year. Great IQ. He did not work out at the combine due to a Jones fracture in his foot, but he ran a 4.47 40-yard. Dude's lightning quick. So I was hoping Coop or maybe Kool-Aid would fall to the Giants. You're right, Brady. But, I mean, there's still options. You got Max Melton out of Rutgers. You got Ennis Rakestraw out of Mizzou, Chris Abrams Drain. You got Cooper Beebe, the lineman out of Kansas State. There's heads. There's heads out there. There's Metallica heads too, like on the bottom part of our screen, right, Ant?
Absolutely.
Sunny D. Sunny D. McKinstry clears. Want to pin Sam's comment quick. She'll be joining us in a moment. I can hear Jordan screaming from here. She loves Cooper DeJean. I love Cooper DeJean as well. He played for an Iowa defense that was very stout. Unfortunately, their offense played like it was 1954. So the defense pretty much had to do all of the work. And Kirk Ferentz has been their head coach since 1998. He's the longest head coach tenure-wise in FBS history. Yeah, it's time to give it up, Kirk. I'm sorry. That defense is elite, but that offense is so not with the times. The Big Ten West offense gets me mad.
The Texans took Lassiter.
Georgia kid. That's great. Another corner. We're starting to see a run on corners here. And,
Wow.
you know, the Giants lost to Dory Jackson last year. My father's saying Jets will probably screw it up again. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate that. Yeah, you actually got a really nice setup in your backyard. It looks comfortable, but I bet
Thank
you it's
you.
not. Like,
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not too bad. Here, I got some
No.
cushioning, so I'm chilling right now. But I got the sweats on. It's a little cold, but not too bad out here.
So Kamari Lassiter, corner from Georgia. 8 pass breakups this year for Georgia. Got to see him live in Jacksonville when they played against Florida. So Georgia's secondary was actually their strength this year, not their wrong guy. Not their front seven. So Georgia guy off the board. I'm trying to think so far. It was who was first in the second round? Keon Coleman, right? Went to the Bills,
Yes.
right? Big bodied receiver. And then 44, trying to get the list here to see who went where. Cardinals picks already in, flying by. Got to start making official predictions on this pick, boys, because we're only 3 picks away.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone I thought they were going to get is going off the board. It's hard to say who they're going to get.
DeJean and Mitchell, that's how we do it. Mark Alkin, holy smokes.
I'm sure he loved that pick.
Appreciate you all tuning in, folks. Mel's best available quarterbacks, Spencer Rattler, Michael Pratt. Is there a chance the Giants take a quarterback at 47 and Spencer Rattler? I hope for God not, because Spencer Rattler was very inaccurate in college. That's why he had a transfer from Oklahoma to South Carolina. He's a good guy. He says all the right things. I think there's something there, but as a backup. And we already have a backup we're paying a decent amount of money for. So I trust Drew Lock a little bit more than a rookie in Spencer Rattler. What do you guys think about that possible rumor?
I agree. I mean, I said this before. I really don't want a quarterback from the draft. I think while that is kind of something to obviously keep an eye on and be, interested and involved in, like I think the receiver one was a little bit, at least for this year, like more of a pressing matter. And I think there's a few more positions too that like in this like time frame right now are probably a bit more pressing, especially with some of the talent here in the middle round.
Agree. And any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with what Brady said. They definitely, it would be nice, I guess, to get a backup for Jones in case he gets hurt again or whatever else happens. But I think at this point, it's better that you fill out the rest of the team needs, because regardless, we still have Jones for another year on contract. So he's got to play. So you're better off just riding it out with him. And who knows, maybe this is my little crapshoot. Maybe Michael Penix doesn't like Atlanta, doesn't want to sit behind Kirk. He's looking to get a move. Giants can snatch him in free agency. I don't know, but that's probably so far fetched it'll never happen. But I think they're better off waiting till next year to really consider looking for a quarterback.
I agree. We'll see where they are at next year because it could easily be, the 2022 Jones is back, and if that's what it is, I think you keep him. But we'll talk about that when we get there. I know some Giants fans would probably want to cut my head off for saying that, but that's my opinion. That's the reality, and I'll give you my opinion. And my opinion also is that Caleb Williams will end up as the fourth best quarterback in this draft, even though he went number one overall.
Wow.
I think I was saying this to the guys last night, and this is my theory behind it. Jaden Daniels, bona fide number one. SEC quarterback, played for LSU. JJ McCarthy's going to a winning culture of Minnesota over the last few years. I just really like that situation he has in Minnesota with Hawkinson, Jefferson, Addison. That line is, much better. The Patriots, I think May is going to fail there, unfortunately. I think he'll probably succeed with another team coming off his rookie contract.
Yeah.
And then Caleb Williams, when was the last time a quarterback's worked out in Chicago? And there's a lot of things about his game that bother me. He's a very talented player. He's the most talented quarterback in this draft. But I just think when all is said and done, 10 years from now, we're talking about it. Caleb Williams is fourth on that list. I know that's a scorching hot take, but it's okay if you guys disagree with that. I want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, honestly, I agree with you. I didn't think the Bears should have got rid of Fields at all. But, I mean, to your point, at this point, the Bears' offense is stacked. They got DeAndre Swift in the backfield. Their O-line is still a work in progress, but it's not awful. And obviously having Keenan Allen and now obviously getting Rome Odunze as well, there's really no excuse for Caleb Williams to fail in Chicago, I feel. Also, DJ Moore, who just had a breakout year with Chicago with Fields at quarterback. So, if he does end up being the fourth best quarterback in this draft, that would certainly be a certain disappointment if you're a Caleb Williams believer. But at this point, it's his his future's in his hands. I think he's got a good setup in Chicago. They haven't had the best luck with quarterbacks, like you said, but I don't know. We'll see how he handles it. He has some maturity issues, which we've seen, which obviously in college, crying after games, not talking to media, and all that other good stuff. But we'll see how he does.
Oh man. Go ahead, Brady. I just saw the pick for the Cardinals. You're not going to like it.
I'm a little delayed on my laptop.
Well, I agree with you guys. The maturity thing was kind of why I just didn't want the Giants to take him, because I'm worried that it, could become a distraction if, that didn't change. But, wow.
This guy, I'm very disappointed. Max Melton out of Rutgers is a guy I really wanted in round 2. Actually had him projected to the Giants in my mock draft. The reason why I did that, I think he possesses all the traits. He's lightning quick, turnover machine, Jersey boy, of course. Ran a 4.39 40-yard dash. And I think he's just very versatile. He could play on the outside, inside, you name it. That sucks, but Sam, when you're ready, give us a thumbs up. We will add you whenever you're ready. Okay. Shit. Hold up 1 second. John Rankin says, ouch. What's up, Rankin? How's it going, Tight Spot? Appreciate you tuning in. Hope everything's going okay. Your hometown Vegas Raiders. I know you're a Steelers fan, but Raiders are on the clock here. Picks are flying in, boys.
Yeah, they're not delaying it today. Everyone wants to go to dinner, I guess.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wish the first one was like that. It takes like a half hour to get through like 3 picks. They each get like 10 minutes.
I think it was 9 o'clock by the time they were on the 3rd overall pick yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, the Raiders, whoever their quarterback is, I think right now it's Aiden O'Connell. Takes a lot of time to decide. So why not give him more time to decide with center Jackson Powers Johnson out of the University of Oregon? What do you guys think of this pick?
Center.
Good
I
center
I
too.
mean I wasn't really like following the Raiders going too much into this. I know their quarterback situation is, I guess, interesting, but I know they also had a little bit of line problems the last few seasons. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good pick for them. I know he was a very good player coming out of Oregon.
It's a great pick in my opinion. JPJ, he likes to go by out of Oregon. Really good guy. I know the Giants talked to him, although we didn't really need a center in this draft since we took John Michael Schmitz in the second round last year. Packers pick is already in. We're almost up, boys. He did 30 bench press reps. JPJ did at the combine. Clear eyes, full heart. He can't lose. Packers pick is in. Bobby, what's going on, Bobby? Could the Giants go back-to-back receiver and take Adonai Mitchell? Love you, Bobby, but absolutely not. With all the corners going off the board, something tells me we're not going to go quarterback. Like, do they panic and take Rakestraw? I really hope they don't.
They might feel the pressure. I mean, they definitely need the defensive. They need that secondary help. Even last year, we were a little iffy back there, and we've lost some key parts, as you mentioned, like Adoree Jackson and McKinney leaving. So they might hit the panic button and just take whoever's best available, just to have some bodies out there. But who knows? I hope they don't.
Tampa's also there from Iowa State. I don't know. I don't think they go him though.
Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker, Texas A&M to the Green Bay Packers. That's another interesting pick.
Wow.
That means the Colts are on the clock. And at this time, if he's ready.
I think there's a trade.
Good. Oh, there is
it says
a trade.
Panthers
Okay.
are on the clock. I think that's the Colts trading it.
Oh,
Ian
wow.
Rappaport.
1 sec.
Ian Rappaport just tweeted that. I'm not sure.
All right, so quickly here, Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker of Texas A&M, is the pick. We're one pick away from the Giants. Let's bring up my co-host from Big Blue Avenue, Brady. You're familiar with her. She did an awesome live reaction for us last night. Sam Cardona, the girl who talks sports. Sam, how are you doing? Welcome to the fray here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to do, these lives they take a lot out of you. I don't think people realize it. They're a lot. But yeah, it was a fun night yesterday. Did you guys have a good live?
We did. How about you and Jordan? I know you're supposed to go down, but you went live. I know you did the reaction to the neighbors pick. It looked like he's had fun. I heard Jordan talking in the background at your reaction of neighbors. I can't complain about the pick personally. I think these guys like it a lot, Anthony and Brady, but personally, I like the pick, but you know how I feel about him compared to Odunze. But I'm not going to complain. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. We got what we need.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I said in my reaction. My initial reaction was that I was like, we can work with this. You and I were very heavy on Rome. But, I'm hoping that this isn't an LSU receiver like we've had in the past with OBJ. I'm hoping that we have a different, more clean slate with this. But yeah, I think you guys might be like 10 seconds ahead of me because you guys were announcing picks before it was coming up for me.
So I will keep quiet because last night I blew the pick. Caitlin Brower was on the show, and I'll be honest with you. I was tuning her out, and I apologized to her for this. She asked the whole studio, please don't spoil the pick. And then literally like 1.5 seconds after she said that, I was like, wow, Malik Neighbors.
Oh, my God.
So bad. And then Andy's like, Tom, what the hell, man? I'm like, oh.
You were just so locked in, man. It happens. I understand. You were just so ready for the pick.
I felt bad, but it happens. As long as it wasn't JJ McCarthy, that's what I was concerned about.
That
I
was
was
the
crossing everything. I was seeing the reports, how much they liked him. I was like, please no, please no. No
Cool.
offense to JJ, just no,
Yeah, no, not for us. Not
No.
for us.
not at all.
Oh, they
Well-
got a running back.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers acquire pick 46 to take a running back, the first running back taken of this
I think
draft.
lineman would have been better for them, but running back's good.
Well, he got hurt, this kid from Texas. Jonathan Brooks, really powerful runner, 6 foot 220. I like him a lot, but he dealt with some injuries this past season playing with Quinn Ewers. They've made it to the college football playoff, and unfortunately, you guys see it. Running backs don't get picked as high anymore. That's the sad reality that we're in, and he was the best one in college this past year.
Yeah, he really was.
Here we are again on the clock too.
We are on the clock.
Oh boy.
So our pick is already in. We were running to the podium with this. Our pick is
Wow.
already in.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I'm like 10 seconds delayed.
I'm way behind. I'm like live streaming this, so I'm like following on my phone.
I'm going to
actually.
stay silent. I will give a facial expression if that's okay with you guys.
Okay, that's fine.
Hope it doesn't spoil anything.
Jordan Schultz just hit me up on the side. I don't
Oh, we
wanna
told
look
you
at
the
it.
pick.
He told me the pick, but I don't want to look at the message. I don't want to look at the message. I want to find it out live like the rest of us, you know? I don't want to be
That's
that,
fair.
especially after last night.
You, Tom. You're like Tom Rappaport over here.
Unfortunately.
Getting the inside scoop.
I mean, recap the start of the second round. Keon Coleman and Ladd McConkey went 33 and 34. Keon Coleman to the Bills is huge. McConkey to the Chargers, trading up, get Herbert,
Wow.
wide out. Johnny Newton to the Commanders. That's going to stink because you pair him with Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen, who have been there for years. Excellent run stuffers. Braden Fisk to the Rams. Love that. Of course, Jordan got Cooper DeJean to the Eagles, and then the Saints taking Kool-Aid is low-key very, very good. And even
Yeah,
the center
great.
for the Raiders, Jackson Powers Johnson. All good picks. All good picks. I guess while we're waiting.
Just go to commercial for our pick.
Oh, God.
Of
So
course they did.
I think we gotta wait until they come back.
Not surprised.
I wonder if we go TJ Tampa from Iowa State. I've heard things about him. Mike Sanderstill, corner from Michigan. He's on the board.
You take a corner. Defensive
Yeah.
tackle. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Because Shane Bowen, new defensive coordinator, right? You lost the Dory. You lost X. I wonder if they're going to elevate Cordell Flott to the 2 corner. I know he's more of a slot, but I don't know. I don't know what the Giants are thinking.
If they take Rakestraw here, he might become the number 2 corner, but that's my guess. Or maybe they'll see how training camp goes, see who's the better fit in that slot. But my guts tell me they might panic go corners since already 5 have been taken off the board since this round started. So I got a feeling they might go Rakestraw.
4 corners, and they all went like
4 corners.
in a row. So that's kind of where we're at. Giants top 30 visits that are still left on the board. Chris Jenkins, interior D-line, Michigan. Javon Bullard, DB, Georgia. Mike Sanderstill, corner, Michigan. Jaden Hicks, safety, Washington State. That might be the pick, to be honest. I don't know if they're going to value safety, though, this high. It could be Cooper Beebe. I know we just
I like
signed
Cooper
Runyon
Beebe.
and a Lemonor, but you could use depth, right? Because left guard right now, it's like Stinney and Azudu competing for that spot because Runyon will play right. And unless you move a Lemonor to guard, I don't know. Or Neal to guard for that matter.
I like the Cooper BB pick. I saw Justin Pennick talking about Johnny Newton too. Defensive lineman.
Unfortunately, I think he went,
He
right?
got picked.
Yeah, I think he
To the Commanders.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed like the first couple picks. What did the Bills do? Did the Bills go wide receiver?
Keon Coleman.
Oh, thank God. Oh, here we go.
So
It's
Tiki Barber's announcing the pick.
All right, Tiki, see what you got.
It could be Trey Benson.
It's really not good.
Is it shake well?
I'll shake it well. I haven't shaken it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. What do we think?
Honestly,
Interesting.
don't hate it. I think it's a good pick.
I did not spoil it.
I actually knew it for like a few minutes.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Just
you
biting
keeping
his
that on
tongue.
low.
Yeah, no, I like the pick though.
Uh,
Obviously, we lost McKinney, and I don't know if this is like necessarily the answer, but to kind of bring in some more safety help, I think is important.
Yeah, no, this is a good pick. I think. Like I said, could have
5 picks
as
this
long as
past
that quarterback pick keeps dropping. I don't mind picking a quarterback. It's just I'd rather it happen like tomorrow.
Yeah, later round
Oh.
for sure.
Yeah.
this is a slam dunk. He's the first safety off the board.
Really?
Look at that. Yeah.
Possibly best safety in the draft.
5 picks this past
Oh, yeah.
season. So it'll be interesting to see how this player fits into Shane Bowen's defense. There's a picture of Joe Shane, Brian Dayball, Brandon Brown, Steve Tisch. Where's John Mara at though? I got this. John Mara hates the camera.
Of course he does.
Steve Tisch is front and center. Mara's nowhere to be found. That's pretty prototypical Giants, right?
He's probably kicking a trash can in the hallway or something.
Did you guys see the? I know this is old news at this point. The video of Drake May 2 days ago, like, sounds just like Eli Manning. Like, close your
I
eyes.
did
when
see
you watch
that.
video.
Yeah, that was great. It's almost like he was doing an impression of him. Even the mannerisms match. But yeah, that was funny to see,
Oh, okay.
especially with all the rumors about the Giants taking him.
Yeah, I just, it's crazy. Tyler Newman had a 33 passer rating allowed in coverage since 2021. That's impressive.
Really? Wow. I remember seeing his highlights when his college career in Minnesota. He's definitely a good player. Excited to see what he can do for this team.
I think we're having a good draft so far. I really do. I'm
So far, no
excited.
complaints.
I agree.
Mason Smith, DT out of LSU. Okay.
LSU.
They're flying on.
I don't know if you
See, I
guys
thought
also
Joe
saw
Shane-
when Neighbors. Sorry, Neighbors had like his interview today with the team, and he called Daniel Jones Janiel Jones, and I kind of felt bad for the guy.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought I misheard him. Like, did he say Janiel? What was that?
Daniel Jones.
He was probably a little nervous.
Yeah.
That's so
That is funny.
Daniel
Um,
Jones. That basically
Daniel
sums up our season already. There you go.
There's a Jaguars pick. I gotta get this post up, Sam. And how about I'll remove you after Commanders if that works. I know you got to run on a couple, but
Mhm.
Sounds good.
I know
Sounds good.
Sam, you probably as well.
Yeah. I can stay for a couple more picks, but
Okay.
not too long.
Yeah, tonight's more of a laid back night. To be honest, last night was all so serious. Like the amount of prep that was done for last night was just insane. I don't know if you weren't on last night. I don't know if you caught this, but since we're kind of just having fun here tonight, so did any of you see our transfer train graphic, Brady? You might have seen it.
I
No.
think so. Yeah.
I may have not been in the stream yet when it popped up.
So this is a little fun fact. Share my screen so you can see what my good friend Brian McCardle worked on.
Aw,
That's dope. 16.
look at all those guys in the caboose.
But images aside, is that stat not wild?
No, that is so crazy. Like
Yeah.
actually, now I'm like actually reading what's on there. That's insane.
Well, even just this past season alone with the transfer portal, as soon as it was open, it felt like everybody was moving to a different school. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the direct cause of all the NIL money. These schools can now offer, more incentive for these
Right.
guys to come play for them besides just, strength of schedule and TV coverage, so it is crazy to see, all these guys just on the move.
That is crazy though.
Chris Jenkins to Cincinnati. DT Michigan.
All right.
Yeah, so the only four last night that didn't transfer, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Michael Pratt, and then Gavin Hardison were the four out of the top 20 ranked QBs that never transferred. But
Wow.
Wow.
that's the state of college football.
Where was Michael Penix originally? I thought he was always at Washington.
Michael Penix Jr. played 4 years at Indiana, had like 10,000
Oh.
injuries, and became
Fair,
a Heisman
fair.
finalist.
No wonder why I didn't know he played in Indiana.
Indiana's atrocious offensive line. I mean, Penix Jr. is lucky he's in the NFL with the way they protected him there. I was still shocked though at number 8. Noah's not happy. And
Yeah, I
I
don't know
like-
what the Falcons were thinking on that one.
great player. Great
He
player.
is.
But
It was like the most shocking pick yesterday, I think.
at 8.
I was in my kitchen. I thought I was hearing things. I was like, they took what? They took who?
It was crazy.
I thought he might go at 13 to the Raiders.
That's what everyone was saying. I think that's what the Raiders were hoping for.
Mike Sanders still Michigan corner.
Wow. Washington's making some good moves too this draft.
Yeah, I thought they had a pretty good free agency too, Washington.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm getting
Finally
made fun of
taking
because I was talking about like seating assignments before with all the people in the house. My little to-do list that I make every day of things I got to do.
What do you mean you get made fun of? You make to-do lists, you get made fun of? I make to-do lists.
Deanna and the Brady Bunch are here. That's why.
I need to make to-do lists. I'm always forgetting everything I got to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you know what you gotta do if you don't make a list?
Come on camera. No, she's not coming on camera. She's just excited for football to be over.
I can't wait for
Joke's
it
on
to
her,
start.
football's never over.
Absolutely. Sam just said football is never over. That's
Sorry,
why.
Dan.
365.
Married to the game.
First ILB, I would say probably Peyton Wilson. But to who? I don't know. I honestly don't know who's going to take him.
You know, it's funny, Tom, because when I just told Michael just now that I had to go on another stream, he was like, how many NFL drafts are there? And I was like, it goes on for 3 days. And he was like, what?
I was asked, why doesn't the NFL just like reveal a list of where the players are drafted
Because
rather
it's
than
not
building up?
fun.
I know.
And I saw those shoes that you were wearing.
Good TV, I guess. That's why.
Absolutely.
This is money. This
That
is
too.
ratings and money. People showing up.
Apparently, all those people have to stand in line like 8 hours before it starts to get in,
Yeah.
which to me is just absolute insanity.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why you would ever want to do that.
When it's like general
Steelers are
admission.
getting our center. Who's that, Ken? I believe Sam's brother is also a Steelers fan, Ken, by the way.
He is.
Maybe
He was
has
very
the
happy with the
inside
pick yesterday. And I think that was probably the best thing they could have done yesterday too.
I mentioned it. Okay.
Yeah.
scoop. And I know you got to run, so
Unfortunately, yes.
any final words? Appreciate you hopping on for as long as you did.
I appreciate
you had
you
fun.
having me on, man. This was a lot of fun. I like just talking football any chance I get. So this is right up my alley. But this was a lot of fun. Overall, I feel like the Giants are drafting well, which is not something I've been able to say in recent years. So it's nice to have a little change of pace. But yeah, once again, thanks for having me on, man. It's a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the draft. Go Giants. And hopefully good things to come this year.
Absolutely. Thanks, Anthony. Have a good
Yes,
one.
thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Anthony Canasti from Wayne, New Jersey. All right. So, Brady, where's your head at now? Pick 70. We got a while ago.
I was gonna say I
Probably
don't
not
even
gonna
know
stream.
exactly when
I'm
our
not
pick is.
streaming till then. I'm probably done at the end of the second round tonight, to be honest. Because I kind of want to sit there and actually enjoy the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just wanted to like hop on and kind of wait to see like these major prospects go off the board.
Yeah, I mean, I would, you mentioned earlier, like someone to pair with Dexter Lawrence, I think
Mhm.
could possibly be something.
Mhm.
Maybe, well, obviously we just picked a safety, but maybe if there's some corner who still happens to be there. And I know we got some help in free agency. I don't think offensive line can necessarily hurt though, especially for us. And I know there was some talk, maybe tomorrow. I don't know about tonight, but maybe drafting a running back. But obviously, we were just talking about how risky that is. So I don't know if I would do that for the next pick, obviously, but could be something maybe tomorrow they look into.
I think you're going to like, Brady, my prediction for running back. 4th round, pick 107. You know where I'm going with this, right?
I think
Audric
so.
Estime at Notre Dame.
That would be awesome.
Shocker.
I would love that
Have
so
you
much.
heard of Estime? Sam Hartman's best friend, by the way, this year. I mean, he really led that offense for Notre Dame.
Yeah,
That
I
be
would
my pick.
I would love that pick. I mean,
But
obviously, in one
they're
way,
all-
the running back isn't maybe the safest choice, but that would be cool for Notre Dame to the Giants.
Zach Frazier out of West Virginia, center off the board. Okay. Can't say we have to worry about that right now. Ennis Rakestraw, Peyton Wilson, Javon Solomon, some of the best available. Spencer Rattler.
Oh, on the other side. Yeah.
Trying to see who else out there is really Blake Corum out of Michigan. That's another guy.
Yeah, that would be another. If we were to go running back, I'd like that one too because he was really good for them.
Before we all hop off tonight, though, I do want to predict pick 70 as we're signing off. That should definitely be. Actually, Sam, why don't we do that now? Because I know you got to dip after the Colts. What position do you think we might go with for pick 70? Any player in mind that you want? Do they go running back? Do they go tight end, lineman, quarterback? What are you thinking here for pick 70?
I mean, you know me, Tom. I'm always partial to the tight ends. So I'm always feeling that. But at 70, like if we got the quarterback, I don't know if I'd be genuinely upset. I feel like there are probably better picks that could have happened there, but I don't know how upset I'd be. But I think definitely some sort of offensive weapon there would be crucial. So I'd say either tight end or running back.
Brady? Any particular?
Yeah, it really gets tough. I feel like kind of in like the third and fourth round. Especially, I feel like I like our pick so far. I'm gonna say either we try, like I said, to get maybe a little bit more interior defensive line help. I'm not too sure who that will be. I know there's still a few guys up there. Michael Hall, Jr. from Ohio State's definitely a big one. I feel like either that or this might almost feel like a bit of a boring pick because we have to look at that so often every year, I feel like. But I feel like it's either defensive line or maybe they go for a little bit more offensive line help because especially last year, I know we shored that up a bit in free agency, but I feel like our interior offensive line last year was just, for the most part, not very good. So I could see, yeah, I don't think it would hurt. I could see them maybe going there as well.
I'm going to be bold. Ben Sinnott, tight end out of Kansas State. That's my prediction. I think, unfortunately, I don't want to get into Waller's personal life, but him and Kelsey Plum obviously just got divorced, unfortunately. And I believe they traded Waller, the Raiders did, like exactly a week after he got married to Kelsey. I know he's working through that, but maybe that's what's holding him up a little bit, unfortunately. Like, you know what I'm trying to say, Sam? Like maybe now, like once he gets through that emotionally, maybe he'll be ready to return to the Giants. I don't know.
I have a feeling that the retirement rumors started because there was these divorce rumors in the air. Honestly, I just kind of hope that he's doing okay in his personal life because obviously he's got some previous issues with addiction and things like that. So I'm hoping that's not part of it. But I'm not really seeing him coming back. But Colts went wide receiver. They needed that.
Such a good pick.
That's a great
This guy
pick.
should have went in the first round, in my opinion.
I mean, Michael Pittman is like their wide receiver one right now. This was a steal for them right here at 52.
Great pick. Former Georgia player, by the way. I know if you're still watching.
Transfer.
Yeah. Big kid, too. He's about 6'3", 6'4". Huge. And really good hands, awareness. He was actually my fourth ranked receiver behind the top three. So I'm a little surprised that
I was surprised that he didn't go in the first round.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
So speaking of Adonai Mitchell, another graphic last night that unfortunately we did not get to demonstrate on the show. Brian also made this one. Andy said I should get kicked off the stream if I did this, but I did it anyway because, I'm me. And, of course, Andy got a nice kick out of it. Am I, as an AI, worthy of a late first-round selection? Worthy lived up to his name. Adonai did not. But these are the stats from this past season.
Well, that's a fun little thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice graphic.
Yeah.
I like it.
Brady, what are your thoughts on Adonai Mitchell?
I kind of agree with you guys. I think he was a bit of a steal. I didn't have him quite as high as obviously the first 3 to 4 receivers that went, but he was kind of right around like the bottom portion of that. And the Colts have Pittman, but here's actually I'm showing the graphic right now. Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Pittman, and now they have Mitchell with Downs as well. So I think it's a good offensive weapon pick that is a bit surprising that he, at least to me, that he kind of fell this far into the second round. But I think if Richardson can kind of come back strong from his injury, because he definitely showed some signs last year before he got hurt, I think that the Colts, especially in that division, I don't really know what to make of it. Obviously, the Texans were great last year. Stroud had a great rookie season, but I think the Colts can be very competitive.
Yeah, that AFC South all of a sudden is pretty legit.
There's also I don't I mean this would probably be tomorrow, and
Yep.
I know you mentioned the tight end, Tom, but I believe the tight end from LIU is actually he like
Owen
entered the
Glasgow,
draft or whatever. Yeah, Owen Glasgow.
UDFA for the Giants, maybe 7th round pick. It'd be nice if he got picked in the 7th. Sam, I know you got to run here. Any parting words? Any overall thoughts on these first 2 picks and what's to come later tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing a really good job. I'd say keep up the good work, and hope they make another smart pick at 70. But it seems like feels like they're in this new era of trying out things that's not drafting a quarterback. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Sam, thank you so much. First off, where can people find the Unsolicited podcast?
Yeah. So I host a podcast called The Unsolicited Podcast with my friend Jordan, the Sporty Jordy, if there's any Eagles fans out there. And you can find us at The Unsolicited Podcast with Sam and Jordan on YouTube. We're on all podcasting platforms. And we are at the unsolicited _ podcast everywhere on social media, and on Twitter we're at Sam and Jordan.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Sam. Make sure to go check her out. We'll have links in the description. Sam, thank you so much for your time. Have a great night, and let's go Big Blue.
Woohoo! Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Later, Sam.
See ya.
That was Sam Cardona, the girl who talks sports. Brady Washington's on the clock. I hope this is a bad pick.
Yeah, I like most of their picks, or pretty much all of them, at least to some extent so far. But it'd be nice because I was telling Anthony before, I feel like they had a pretty good free agency too.
Yeah.
So they're scaring me a little bit. So I'm kind of hoping that they mess one of these up.
Oh, absolutely. Commander's pick is in. Let's bring up our new guest here, Colts fan, actually. Eddie Atkinson, who was on last night too. Hey, Eddie. Adonai Mitchell's a Colt. How you doing?
I'm loving it. That pick warmed my heart. Hook 'em horns, you know. I got a guy coming from one of my favorite teams to the other. This draft can't get much better.
Yeah.
How we doing?
Doing excellent. Brady is a Giants fan like me, so we got the safety out of Minnesota, Tyler Nubin.
Okay, I missed that pick. I was driving home from the laundromat.
All good. I mean, we went live late tonight. Last night, I don't know about you. It took so much out of me. I'm like, it's just
we were.
There's no way I could go. I can't go the full distance again tonight. It's not going to happen. Not this year, at least.
I hear that.
Wow.
Who was that?
Unbelievable. They took my guy.
I saw it. Yeah. Oh, dang it.
I just think, you know, they could.
No
I know.
way.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm.
That's the pick. Ben Sinnott. It's a good pick. I hate to say it. Again, they're doing really, really good. Adam Peters, their new general manager, former 49ers assistant. I think they're managing their team great. The question is, can they coach their team great? Because their head coach, Dan Quinn, has been unfortunately sort of a shit show, with the Falcons in big games. The Cowboys defensive coordinator wise, they've struggled. They've certainly struggled. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. We'll see what happens.
Tom, I'm not sure if you touched on it already, but what do you think about the Raiders getting your guy Jackson Powers Johnson?
Oh, the center. I love centers. I love interior linemen. It's just like they're ballers, man. Like they don't get credit. I get it. They just block people, but that's where games are won inside the trenches. Like even when Joe Alt went 5 last night, I was arguing with a guy who thought they should have took Malik Neighbors, and he's right. Like, how do you pass up Malik Neighbors for Joe Alt? But at the same time, I'm like, if you know Jim Harbaugh, what does he do? He builds his team from the inside out through the trenches.
Well, they're just gonna make the argument that Herbert has no one to throw to, but
right.
But as far as him going to Las Vegas, do you think he's gonna fit into their team well?
I think so. I mean, I know there's center Andre James. I don't know if he's coming back, but they lost the Lemonor to the Giants. They still got a solid left tackle, and I don't know who's going to play quarterback for them this year, whether it be O'Connell or somebody else. But they got to protect him, and that's one way to start.
Agreed.
Oh, Carl Nassib, very cool.
Oh, he's making the selection?
Yes, sir.
Or the announcement, I should say.
Yeah.
Wow. Green Bay took Edwin Cooper? I think that is a great pick for them.
Brady, you mentioned this guy before, didn't you?
Who was it?
Michael Hall.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at some of the top interior defensemen. Oh, come on. To pair with Dex. And he was like one of the top guys, if not the kind of top guy remaining. It's like back-to-back picks now.
Really good pick. Really good pick. The Browns pick, I mean, it's a good one. DTs, you can't go wrong, right? Like, just like interior linemen on the offensive side, on the defensive side too. Like, you got to find a way to not just stop the run now with those guys, but get pressure up the middle on these quarterbacks. That's why I think Dexter Lawrence, Brady, is so important to our team. It's one of those situations, but if you guys are cool with it, we'll probably go up until the end of the second round. Does that work for you still, Brady, or do you got to hop off sooner?
That's fine. I could stay on till then. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no worries either way. The Dolphins. Wonder what they do here. Pick is in. They lost Robert Hunt. Where did they go last night? I'm trying to remember. Was it?
Oh, Miami?
I have it in front of me. Yeah.
Oh, it was I forget.
Chop.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Chop. Excellent pick, by the way. I thought he was going to go to Tampa, but Miami got to him first.
Wow, Brady, you know what's crazy? 4 years ago, 2020 draft, Giants take McKinney in the second round, safety. 4 years later, Giants take another safety in the second round, Tyler Nugent.
I remember that too. Like that's who I wanted at that point. I was really excited for that pick, and I guess up until now, since he's on the team, like he was good for us. So I'm hoping the same for Newbin.
Absolutely. We'll do more research on him, folks. If you're watching on Big Blue Avenue, we'll get a video up of him on our YouTube channel. Some analysis on him playing in that Big Ten, the low-scoring Big Ten, because defenses are superior in that conference. Eddie, what do you think of the receivers, man? And we saw Keon Coleman go. Lad McConkey went to the Chargers with Herbert. Trying to think. Kool-Aid finally went to the Saints, and Cooper DeJean to the Eagles.
Yeah, this has been a good follow-up round. I was actually surprised, though, that McConkey got picked before struggling with his name. Tom, the receiver from Oregon.
Troy Franklin.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still on the board. That's going to be a steal for somebody if he goes into the third round.
Right.
But Tom, what do you think about Arizona picking Max Melton?
Rutgers kid, Jersey kid. I like him. I like Max Melton. He went to the Jets local pro day and the Giants too.
My thing is, what is that defense going to look like? Did they re-sign Buda Baker or no? I'm not sure.
Who?
The Cardinals.
Don't recall. I actually don't recall. I don't remember. They should still have him. I don't think he went anywhere else.
Yeah. But,
Cowboys are on the clock.
If Buda's still there, that was a great addition to what he brings.
Yeah. So
we finally got a running back off the board.
Nice. I know Jonathan Brooks, you're a Texas guy. Well, what do you think of that, Jonathan Brooks?
Well,
did he get hurt
let's just say, yeah, he got hurt. I think around the time we had the Red River rivalry with Oklahoma. I'm not sure if it was that game in particular, but it was around that point in the season. But with him going to Carolina, let's just hope he doesn't have the same struggle that Christian McCaffrey had, a mid to kind of terrible O-line. Bryce Young's still developing his game. So hopefully there's not too much pressure on him to, make big plays every game, but we'll see how it goes.
Dallas could probably use, let's see, they went Guyton last night. They could go receiver, right? They could go Troy Franklin.
Because they got rid of Michael Gallup.
Michael Gallup's gone. I'm starting to think Dak might be gone from them after this year.
You think so?
He's the longest tenured starting quarterback from the team that drafted him.
Makes sense.
Same draft as Jared Goff.
He probably didn't get a ridiculous signing bonus because he got drafted in the third round, third or fourth?
Yeah, third round. He was just supposed to be a bridge until Tony Romo got healthy again. He wasn't supposed to be this starter,
Yeah.
But
he didn't really catch me by surprise because I watched his film when he was at Mississippi State, and I think he played pretty well. But, Tom, you're right. I didn't think he was going to be cast into the QB1 role permanently, but
right.
Here we are.
That's right. Brady, who do you hope they don't get here? Phrase it that way.
I'm just trying to think. I mean, I guess Franklin or one of the top receivers, but obviously that wouldn't surprise me. Um, I feel like if they got another defensive kind of lineman, edge rusher, or interior lineman with Parsons and those guys, that's going to scare me a bit with Jones coming off of an injury, and that's why though I was glad in free agency and hopefully maybe at some point in this draft that we kind of pad our offensive line.
Yeah. Cooper Beebe's
Also,
there.
I saw that we did offer the 6th pick and our first rounder next season for the 3rd overall pick for Drake May. But I'm personally glad that didn't.
Are you high on Drake May? For me, it's I don't think May will succeed with the Patriots.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I didn't dislike him per se, but I wasn't that high on him either. If there were guys, especially like I said, some of the top receivers, I probably would have preferred them over him since we still have another year of Jones too.
I'm actually glad he's a Patriot because I didn't want them taking Marvin Harrison Jr. They would have ruined that young man's career.
They went D-line. Marshawn Nealand from Western Michigan.
You're on stage with me. In our family's household, our number one Cowboy fan, my son, Chase. I've had the honor and the privilege for sure.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Working for 2 of America's teams.
It's really give those drawn out answers, too much build up.
Earlier today, the NFL, alongside the Bob Woodward Foundation and Move United, hosted the first ever USA Wheelchair Football League Veterans All-Star Game.
Interesting.
These All-Stars are part of the National USA Wheelchair Football League, funded by an NFL Salute to Service grant. Please join me in welcoming the co-captains of the game today, retired U.S. Army Corporal Jason Rainey.
So this guy's going to read the pick.
This is Tampa's pick, right?
And retired U.S. Marine Sergeant
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas still?
Yeah, we're at 56. Yeah. So it's, yeah. Could be Cooper Beebe.
I saw it already. They I follow this Instagram account that posts it right away even before they get announced.
Is it JPA by any chance?
It's Marshawn Nealand from Western Michigan, the D lineman, of course.
Got it. I'm not mad about that. He's like a poor man's Matthias Kiwanuka. G5, right? That's the MAC, Western Michigan. 6'3", 267. A pretty decent frame, too. Marshawn Nealand. Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's got a pretty good bull rush.
Mm-hmm.
Lateral quickness. So who's left?
What do you think about LA taking Fisk?
Braden Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
Good pick, right? Because they didn't get Byron Murphy the second for Donald. So good to, I think, address that maybe around later because, defensive tackle, not premium position. I mean, for them, I guess it was because of Donald and his career, but getting that position replaced is a priority. But
I see Tampa's pick already came in.
yeah,
I'm not going to say that.
I think I had my order of DTs. I had Newton, Murphy, Fisk was 3, and then I forget who was 4. Chris Jenkins Jr. That is. That's
Got to make that distinction.
Marshall Neyland, Western Michigan. Let's see who went. Mike Samerstill to the Commanders. Good pick. Brady, I'm starting to think it could be Trey Benson at 70. Strong possibility.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bills are next. I mean, we only got. Right, the Bucks. I feel like it's got to be.
Think they go back
They're not
offense?
I wish we had Brian here to give his prediction because he's usually spot on with the Bucks. I think last night he said Graham Barton, and it was Graham Barton. They addressed interior line. They could probably use corner because they did lose Carlton Davis. You could probably get better in that area. They did go out and get Jordan Whitehead.
Does Shaquille Barrett still play for them?
No.
No.
As of this offseason, he's gone.
Could they potentially go pass rusher then?
They could. I wouldn't be opposed to that. So, folks, if you're watching, any predictions for this pick or whichever team you support, give us your prediction on who you want for them. Be happy to discuss that with you. So I found this quote funny today. I read this quote online. Vikings' new quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, was asked, what's the biggest difference between him and Kirk Cousins? His answer was, Kirk wears gold chains, McCarthy wears rings. That's like a how do you like me now moment, right? That's
for sure.
Yeah. Crazy, right? That's one of those situations where outside of Sinnott went. Sinnott was my number 2 tight end. Jatavion Sanders is still there out of Texas. Theo Johnson out of Penn State. Brady, I think the Giants brought him in for a top 30.
Yeah. Or Owen Glasgow. That would be something.
Well, remember when Carlock made the practice squad, right? Oh, you weren't a student.
Yeah,
you were still in high school, right?
I do remember that, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no. Was it him? Someone I remember in preseason, there was like a local guy who got like a pick 6 against the Jets or something.
That was Jake. Yeah.
It was, okay.
That was him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
It could be BPA. Logan Wilson, maybe? That's not bad. That's my 5th ranked edge rusher.
So they
Oh, I don't know
decided to
if you
go
want
edge.
that.
Went edge rusher.
Well, actually, you were just talking about they lost Shaq Barrett, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now that you think of it. Eddie, you missed Anthony by about 15, 20 minutes. He was in his backyard, like outdoors.
Was he grilling or anything?
I wish he would have caught him. No, but he's probably placing like a 16-legger later. You're going to send it in the group chat. Alabama boy. I like him personally. I mean, he played opposite of Dallas Turner, so it's really hard to get reps and to get sacks when you're playing across from a guy like that. So, I mean, we'll definitely see what happens. What's up, John Franco? Appreciate you tuning in last night as well. You're the man for that. Dubin is a beast. I'm happy we got him. We needed a McKinney replacement. And the reason why I also like the pick, and Brady, you can tell me if you agree here, they didn't just draft based off positional need. They drafted based off of their board and BPA. And I think that's very important too. You don't want to reach for a position just because you need a certain position, right? Like if maybe you need, for example, a tight end a little bit more than a safety, but the next best tight end is not like until 20 picks down, and like the next best safety is like 5 picks down. You take the safety, even though it's not the bigger need than the tight end, right? Because it's still a need. It's just not your biggest need at that point of the draft.
Yeah, I agree with that. And there's still, obviously a few of our guys went, but there's still plenty of, solid tight ends out there as well with our pick coming up relatively soon.
Guys, the
Georgia boy.
broadcast that I'm watching is a little bit ahead. I'm so mad Green Bay took Ballard. Oh, my gosh. Tom knows this is a guy I was high on all off season leading up to tonight. And you know what's crazy? It's like a little salt in the wound. My little brother is a Packers fan, so I know he's
there you go. Trying to see if I got any updates here.
That is definitely one of probably, I would have said, my top safety in this draft.
Right.
Oh, Tom, you'll like the Texans pick. I just saw the next one.
Yes, you will.
Uh-oh.
Yes, you will.
Cooper Beebe, Audric Estime. Don't tell me.
Watching the tape right now.
Okay. I like the pick too, and Eddie Brady's also a Notre Dame fan, so him and I are kind of like in the same boat on this one.
Okay.
He played opposite of Joe Alt. He's really a right tackle. He's going to come in and probably start right away because Houston needs better protection for CJ Stroud up front. I mean, look, you were able to get him help, which is key, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you get guys with experience too. And Blake Fisher had 3 years of experience at Notre Dame, 27 total starts. He gets overlooked because of Alt. That's why he's not talked about. So they're showing his stats now. So I like the pick. I think it's a good pick.
Me too. Well, they have their
He
franchise
could be a
QB.
flag machine.
Right. So, just coach him up right. Have him try to avoid the penalties, but a very solid pick. And it makes sense because they found their franchise guy and they want to protect him. So I think it's a solid
Absolutely. What do we got? Houston Texans, Blake Fisher. Bill's pick is in.
Uh-oh. Surprised they didn't want to trade it.
Every time the Bills pick now in the draft, Brady, I get a little worried because the Bills and the Giants are cut from the same cloth. as far as
Yeah.
ownership and GM front office. Yeah, I mean, Texans got a corner to pair next to Stingley, which is good. And then they get Blake Fisher. Not a bad night for them. They didn't have a first-round pick because of trading up last year for Will Anderson Jr.
Ooh, I just got the pick in. I'm not going to say it, but it makes sense. I will say that it makes sense.
Notable
Given
guys to
Buffalo's
watch.
departure.
Yeah,
I
Notable
I just
guys.
saw it too.
left. Jaden Hicks, the safety out of Washington State, still there. Cooper Beebe, Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina. Trey Benson out of Florida State, the running back. Andrew Phillips, corner out of Kentucky. There's still names out there. But like all of the ones that like your general public knows are most of them are gone now.
Mhm. I wonder who's going to pull the trigger on Rattler.
Honestly, the Raiders could in the third round if he's there. I'm just
I could see that. I
Hmm.
could see that. Granted, they got robbed by Atlanta last night.
such a stupid boneheaded pick. Apparently Cousins didn't know about it until they were on the clock.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the
Like,
talk
by
of
the-
today.
But by the time Penix ever like plays, he's going to be like 27.
Might be out
Unless-
of his deal.
I keep overlooking this. The Raiders have Gardner Minshew as well. So they
True.
could just say, screw it, use this as a bridge year, start Minshew or O'Connell,
Mhm.
and then come back and, acquire a quarterback next year via, trade, free agency, the draft, whatever they so choose. There's Chet and SGA. Bucks Pacers in overtime. Do we know who won that game?
Let me see. One sec.
It was
Pacers.
the Pacers.
121 to 118.
Not ideal. No, Giannis has really proven to be a problem for them, but
Mhm.
we'll keep it football.
From what I was hearing tonight, Middleton had a game, supposedly.
Right. Yeah. Well, I hope Packers fans are distracting themselves with the draft right now because I'm looking at best available. TJ Tampa, corner out of Iowa State. Adisa Isaac, edge out of Penn State. That's a good player. Played across of Chop. G5 guy, Malachi Corley, receiver out of Western Kentucky. So there's guys out there that can produce. You got the hometown Lions next, so that should be intriguing. Roman Wilson, receiver out of Michigan.
Mhm. Troy Franklin.
Yeah. Pick 60.
60th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. The Buffalo Bills select Cole Bishop, DB, Utah.
I mean, it makes sense to take Cole Bishop here. They lost Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, and Tre'Davious White. Their secondary's depleted. I'm sorry. Buffalo, really smart drafting by Brandon Beane. You trade back twice from 28 to accumulate additional draft capital and only move back 5 picks after 2 trade backs. So they went from 28 to 32. Then they went from 32 to 33. They got their receiver in Keon Coleman. And now they get a safety in Cole Bishop. You address 2 needs in the draft on cost-controlled deals. This is quality. You got a quality first-rounder with the first pick of the second, and you get a quality second-rounder here with Cole Bishop.
Yeah, I think that was a great pick for Buffalo. Like you said, Tom, they're depleted. And I'm not sure how they look as in terms of cap space, But if I was their GM, granted, like I said, if they have cap space, I would have gone after Justin Simmons in free agency. It still baffles me that he's not signed on our active roster right now. And then having Cole Bishop be, the other safety would serve them well. But they still have question marks at corner. So is this
You know
going
what?
to address next round?
Yeah. You know what I think it is, Eddie? It's more the money than the player. And I think teams are waiting till after the draft to see teams that need a safety, at least are waiting till after the draft. They're like, oh, if we didn't get a quality safety in the draft, let's bring him in after for a workout and then see if it works out and then sign him to a deal. I think that's what they're waiting for, right? Because that initial wave of free agency, the second wave of free, now the third stage after the draft, you'll start to see, I think, more guys get signed
Makes
after the
sense.
draft.
Well, I saw Detroit's pick.
I did too. It was interesting watching this guy's film because I have no clue who he is, but he seems like he'll be a solid addition for them.
Yeah. New attendance record for the draft. That's awesome. This team should have been in the Super Bowl last year.
Right?
Yeah. This is like their consolation prize. Good pick. Not to just say that, but it is. He's a early second round talent that went at 61. That's really good for him. SEC corner.
Mm-hmm.
Big guy, too. Big guy. I know the Giants were considering him, Brady. Rakestraw.
Yeah.
Okay, I got Baltimore's pick too.
Oh, they're starting to fly in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without revealing it, any initial reaction to it, good or bad?
I think it's a good pick. I definitely think it's a good pick. From the pieces that Baltimore has added over last year's draft, free agency this year, and last night, I think this is a very good pick for them.
Interesting.
Wide receiver moves to the line of scrimmage. He's going to get all hand jams. He's going to read the low hit, man coverage. He'll come up and support the run. Good offside help as a zone coverage defender. Again, it's Rakestraw. It's hard to find anything not to like. He's got a few injury concerns going forward, but I'll tell you this.
Let's see what Baltimore did last night. They took Nate Wiggins, and we're supposed to have Ravens fan on tonight, but unfortunately she had to cancel. Got called into work, nature of our industry. I thought Baltimore would have went Guyton last night. I feel like this pick has to be revolved around Lamar, right? This has to be a Lamar plus type of pick here.
Correct.
It should be O-line or receiver. It could be Troy Franklin, for all we know. Troy Franklin might fall to the third round. Jeez. What's up, Detroit?
Hello, Tinata.
That is Haloti Nada. You're right. Big kid. Or big man. So, it's funny when World was on last night, Eddie, I was saying this could have been the pick there. I mean, it would have been a reach there, too, but it wouldn't have been as bad as Ricky. Ricky Pearsall is a really good player. He's just not a first-round guy.
I agree.
Looks like we got a trade.
Do we?
It says Chiefs are on the clock, even though they were picking immediately after, but I think they traded up one spot.
Interesting. We will
I'm reading this correct.
confirm that. We will confirm that shortly. I like Ryan Rosengarten. He played at Washington with Fatanu. Little overlooked by Fatanu, but he's an excellent player in his own right. Big kid, good hands. And there's no way the two teams that played in the Super Bowl are going to trade picks. They are. Holy smokes. This is probably like you help us out, we help you out. Like that's that type of deal. So, in the honor of having a trade on the board, the Chiefs have traded up one pick with the San Francisco 49ers. Wonder who it's going to be. Let's see what's left here. Round 3. Just to learn. Eric DeCosta's working the phones.
Trade here. It was supposed to be San Francisco on the board for the second consecutive night. The Chiefs have moved up. Kansas City making the trade up a few spots at the end of round 1. They've now done the same here. They've moved up one spot from 64 to 60.
Wonder what if San Francisco gets anything for moving back one spot, or if it's just a straight up 1-for-1. Do either of you guys know?
It looks like it was 1 for. Oh, I don't know if they got anything else. I know San Francisco's up next, but I don't know all the details.
Well, now they have back-to-back picks, it looks like.
Right. It makes sense.
The Chiefs, look, they're all in. They're trying to make this three-peat.
Here it is. Chiefs got this pick, a 6th rounder, and the Niners got the next pick and the 5th rounder.
The 5th rounder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
In the 24 draft, Kansas City select Kinsley Suamaia from BYU tackle. Let's go, team.
It's a good swing tackle pick.
So I'm thinking, do they think that Sam Fran was about to pick him?
It's possible because they got to replace Colton McKivitz. And the Niners took a receiver last night instead of tackle. And I think now, you know what it was too? I think the Chiefs just saw Rosengarten go off the board. And I think here they might have had 2 or 3 tackles slated, and they want to make sure they got one. So this makes sense. Kingsley Suamaia. Played every snap at left tackle in 2023. Played right tackle in 2022. Former Oregon Duck. Big kid. So the Chiefs now, they get Worthy night 1. Kingsley Suamaia night 2 at pick 63. Interesting. And this will be the final pick of the second round here. You got the 49ers on the clock, under 5 minutes to go. Pick is in, folks. Let's hope it's not another what the hell moment.
Let's see.
Commercial break. I think I'm going to go spoiler here. Right. I might just roll with.
Still hasn't come down for me yet.
Unrelated, but Liam McNeely has committed to UConn from Montverde Academy. Huge acquisition for the Huskies. Giants beat reporter Dan Duggan just caught up with Darren Waller. Still no decision on his future. Why is he taking so long to make a decision? It's just evaluating my overall commitment level. I don't feel like it's fair to my teammates, franchise, fair to the people that support it. Somebody out there that isn't 100% committed to the entire journey from April to February. That's not good. That's not good. Brady, it's got to be either tight end or BPA in round 3.
Yeah.
It's a bad sign.
I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that at all. I mean, it's going to turn out to be a whiff of a trade for Joe Shane, but who knew that was going to happen? Like last year when they made that trade, Waller could have been fully in 100%. You know, I mean, he wouldn't have moved halfway. He wouldn't have moved all the way across the country to just know that, oh, yeah, I'm only going to play there for 1 year. There's no way he went into that trade with that mentality. Something happened since he got here that started to make him sway things. And unfortunately, I think it has to do with the divorce to Kelsey Plum.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see now what kind of they do with that, at least the next 2 days too.
Yeah. So just a heads up, after this pick, we'll break it down. I'll get a final statement from both you guys, and then we'll pretty much call it a night from there.
I have the pick.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yep.
The comp picks don't start till round 3, right? Try to remember every
I
year
think so.
the way it works. The comp picks start in round 3, okay?
Okay, I have no clue who this is.
I know the Giants are getting comp picks for both Barkley and McKinney next year in 25.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what round those are in, but I know we will be getting a comp pick for each of them. I believe they have to play Brady a significant amount of snaps with their new teams. That's probably how that's going to work. Because we got one for Evan Ingram a couple of years ago when we lost him.
For that, they would have to stay healthy though too.
Which, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. All right, let's see. Tackle. I think it has to be tackle. But I'm trying to look at who's best available left for tackle, and I can't. I don't know. If I had to take a guess, Christian Jones, Texas, maybe. But he's a left tackle.
I just got another trade. I guess for the next pick.
I went to school down the street from here, 3200 East Lafayette Street, Detroit Martin Luther King Crusaders. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
The Jets are on the clock.
The 64th pick
Oh.
of the 2024 NFL Draft. The NFC champion San Francisco 49ers select Ronaldo Green, DB, Florida State.
That's a good pick. That was also a need for them on top of tackle.
I think that was a good pick
Really-
for them.
Yeah.
Really good press man corner out of Florida State. I mean, he
Especially for
fell
their
into their
style.
lap. This guy fell into their lap. I mean, this guy plays like a lumberjack. Career high 13 passes defended this year with the Knowles. I like it. So, Brady, you said the Jets are on the
Yeah,
clock?
they just traded with the Panthers.
Yeah, okay.
And Aaron Rodgers just tweeted.
Oh, gosh. Well, since we do have a trade, folks. New York Jets have traded up. Panthers, pick number 65. Wow, that's huge. Overall thoughts on the second round, boys? Eddie, to start with you. What are you thinking?
This was a very solid round. I think there was a couple surprises in this round as far as some picks. Not as many as last night, that's for sure. But I believe all of the picks they were good fits for who selected them. So overall, I think it was a solid night so far.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for hopping on again. We'll react to the Jets pick, and then I'll let you go. Brady, anything to add on the second round? I think it was pretty straightforward, right? A lot of corners, right? We saw that run on corners. We had some
Yeah, I
receivers.
agree with you
Got our
guys.
safety.
Yeah. For the Giants, I like the pick, and for everyone, like you guys were saying, I don't think there was anywhere we were really like shocked, and I don't think there were many picks where we were kind of like, scratching our heads too much over them. I think a lot of teams kind of got what they were looking for out of most of it. So overall, I think it was a pretty solid round.
It looks like the Jets pick is in. I know who it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually really like their pick.
Yeah.
This could be good for them.
That's wow. That's a pick right there.
They have his film rolling right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Tom, do you think Aaron Rodgers had any bearing on that selection?
Oh, absolutely. This guy should have never fallen to the third round.
Yeah.
Well, the Jets don't have too many excuses now, I feel like, though, for at least making a run at the playoffs.
They got to be out of excuses by this point. I mean,
for sure.
Salah and Douglas bought themselves another year because they got Rodgers. But after this year, if there's no improvement, at least Salah has to go because,
they're not going to wait forever.
No, and they're not responding like they should.
Now, Tom, what do you think it is? I feel like outside of Bill Belichick, like coaches that were once defensive coordinators, when they get head coaching positions, they usually don't pan out too well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why do you think that is?
No.
Makes you wonder, right?
I think now it's such an offensive game. Like, it leads me to wonder how McDonald's going to do in Seattle.
I was just about to say that.
Here we go. Jets fans are going to love this pick.
The 65th pick to the New York Jets. With the 65th pick in the 2024 draft, the New York Jets select Malachi Crowley, receiver out of Western Kentucky. Let's go, Jets.
Now you know why Aaron Rodgers is tweeting that out. I mean, that's a good pick. That's a really good pick. He played a lot in the Conference USA. The last 2 years, very dominant red zone target. And Aaron Rodgers is looking for that. You need to pair someone up with Garrett Wilson, and this is the guy that could potentially do that. Lazard and Cobb last year really weren't enough. I mean, Lazard is okay, but you want to upgrade that number 2 receiving role, especially since they didn't get Bowers last night. And this
Right.
is the next best receiver weapon you could say board. And the Jets cash in. The Jets cashed in, and they did it very, very well. So
Excellent pick for the Jets.
absolutely, and an excellent night as well. Eddie, we appreciate you. Any parting words here?
As always, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. And so happy for my Colts. We had a solid 2 first rounds. I'm probably going to stay up to see this third round pick. But you fellas enjoy the rest of the draft and have a good night.
Thank you, Eddie.
Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
night.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
This is Eddie Atkinson. So, folks, for those of you folks who are just tuning in now, start of the third round, we're going to wrap this one up. Brady, our Giants are a few picks away. I'm going to figure this one out, do a reaction video to it. Any final thoughts on who's left on the board? I'm starting to think Cooper Beebe, Trey Benson. If Trey Benson can make it to 70, I won't be mad at that either.
Yeah, we were talking kind of about running backs being risky picks, but I'd like that one. I think there's definitely there's more important positions I feel like still to attack. Because we did get Singletary as well, which I kind of like that signing afterwards. After Barkley left, and there's a lot of other positions, as you mentioned, BB. We'll see if they maybe go tight end too with what's going on with Waller, but I have confidence that I'll like the pick because I feel like there's still a lot of names up there with a few picks left, but
All right.
we'll have to see.
Well, here's this for you.
Oh, all right.
There goes that. And he was a top 30 guy. So, we'll think about that. But Brady, thank you so much for joining tonight. It's a pleasure. Make sure to go check out Brady Campbell at Puckin' Around. Bi-weekly with Noah Dog Deibler. Mix of the NHL playoffs heading into the second round very soon. The conference semifinals. Best of luck to your Islanders. I am hopeful you get out of that 3-0 hole. Tire out Carolina a little bit. Would love to see us come back and make it a series, to be honest. So genuinely wish you the best of luck and hope you enjoy the rest of night 2 of the draft.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Tom. Go Giants. And Joe Shane and Brian
Go Giants.
West, and have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having me on, Tom.
Thank you, Brady. Appreciate you, buddy. Take care.
See ya.
That was Brady Campbell, co-host of the Puckin' Around podcast, folks. So solo now. Washington Commanders pick is in at number 67. Going to be very interesting to see what happens with this pick. So definitely very excited about that. At this point, the Giants are picking at 70. So Big Blue Avenue, folks, we're going to log off right after pick 70. I do promise we'll have that third round pick revealed for you, but then that'll be it. We'll give a quick reaction to it and then call it a night. So Washington's pick is in. Troy Vincent, NFL EVP of football operations, announcing it. Yeah, that's a good pick for Washington. They need offensive line help, right? I mean, they were really bad last year. They were the most sacked team in the NFL, even more than the Giants. Sam Howell was getting banged up left and right, you name it. Brandon Coleman out of TCU is a really good player to play with guys like Sam Cosmi, guys like that. So definitely very intriguing to see how that'll pan out for Washington moving forward. 2023 second team all Big 12 player. There's a real chance this guy could be in the starting lineup come week 1 for the Washington Commanders. So we'll definitely see what happens there. New England Patriots are now on the clock at number 68. Commanders so far in the draft, they've taken Jaden Daniels, quarterback, Johnny Newton, DT, Mike Sanders, still corner, Ben Sinnott, tight end, and Brandon Coleman, guard out of TCU. Washington's at a very good draft. I hate to admit it, but they've done really, really well. It'll be interesting to see if those draft picks will pan out for them. Try to figure it out. So we'll get that up there. Great. Heads to Washington. So the Patriots pick is in. Then we got the Chargers. Then we got the Giants. So definitely very excited about that. You know, the Patriots so far, they've drafted Drake May. I think that was a good pick for them, quarterback out of North Carolina. They need to build around him if he's going to be successful. So I definitely think it'll speak volumes to Drake May and the Patriots, you know, coaching staff in 2024 if they're able to get pieces there. Quickly here, there's still some really good running backs on the board in round 3. I'm going to reveal a top 5 graphic that Andy Hopper and I worked on the course leading up to the draft about our top 5 running backs. Our lists were a little bit different. As of right now, only 2 running backs have gone off the board. Jonathan Brooks in the 2nd round, and then, of course, Trey Benson early in the 3rd here to the Arizona Cardinals. So we had this graphic. I had Brooks, Corum, Benson, Audric Estime, and Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. And he had Brooks, Corum, Bucky Irving out of Oregon, who I did consider for my list. Trey Benson, and then Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. So there are some guys here on this list that could really, you know, make some miles for NFL teams. And then as far as best available, folks, I'm really starting to look at it. I'm still surprised Chris Abrams-Drain is on the board. Cooper Beebe is still on the board. And then if you're a Giants fan tuning into this, you know, you really want to start looking at like top 30 picks to see who's left. And, you know, Cooper Beebe honestly headlines that list. So I can't say I'm too, you know, surprised right there. Try to figure out what's going on with the Patriots. I have a feeling this could be offensive line here. I won't be shocked if it is. They really need help with that. Definitely intriguing. And folks, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. I'll answer them for you for another couple minutes. We got some good comments earlier on. Appreciate all the support as we come out of this commercial break here. Roman Wilson, wide receiver from Michigan, still on the board too. Troy Franklin, receiver out of Oregon. So realistically, New England could go receiver as well. But I think the smart pick would be a guy like maybe Christian Haynes out of UConn, Christian Jones out of Texas. You know, give Drake May some protection. And honestly, we'll just see what happens from there. All right, so pick is in. Chargers are officially on the clock. Take a look at Mel Kiper's best available here, folks. Let's take a look if there were any good comments that I missed before. Yeah, I don't think the Giants trade back from 70, but I won't say I'd be shocked about it. This has got to be O-line. They're playing a lot of O-line graphics. Patriots O-line, 43% pass block win rate, worse than the NFL. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
For the New England Patriots pick, I am joined tonight by 2 special guests, Christian Harvey and Emma Freeze, seniors from Morehouse College and Emory University. Christian and Emma are
Going to post that Tyler Newman pick from Minnesota. So definitely a good night for New York sports fans. I got the Giants pick. It's going to be an interesting pick. I think you guys are going to like this pick. It really solves a lot of issues for Big Blue. And it further emphasizes the point that Daniel Jones will be the starting quarterback in 2024 and that the Giants are still, bought in on him and his contract. So it's definitely going to be very, very interesting.
I am thrilled to have these tremendous leaders here tonight showing that what it means to stand up for one another.
And by the way, the Giants pick, they did bring him in for a top 30 visit. So that will be very, very interesting.
Christian, Emma, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Vincent, and the entire
See who they
for your support.
wind up taking here.
We are honored to be champions working to fight the rising hate happening in communities across the United States.
With the 68th pick in the 2024
They're literally about to reveal it now.
The New England Patriots select Caden Wallace.
Caden Wallace, offensive tackle. They really needed that out of Penn State. I mean, they were toying with the idea of taking a tackle. And by the way, the New York Rangers did just win tonight, ladies and gentlemen. They're up 3-0 in the series against Washington. 1 win away from advancing. Caden Wallace, tackle out of Penn State. Look, you got to protect Drake May. You're not going to succeed. Caden Wallace, Big Ten tackle. Drake May, semi-familiar with him. Take a look at some of his film here, protecting guys like Sean Clifford. Yeah, I mean, good pull blocker. Big dude, played mostly right tackle. Moves his feet well, holds guys, stands them up.
He can handle finesse rushes. He has good lateral redirect. You see it right here. Just right him by the high side. He's basically a 4-year starter at Penn State.
And a four-year starter, too, is definitely key. You want that experience in the National Football League.
Another solid pick for the Patriots with Jalen Polk and Drake May. But you have to say right now that Elliot Wolf is doing nice work.
I really like this number 70 pick for the Giants, folks, so definitely stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. Chargers on the clock here. Not sure where they're going to go, right? I mean, they took Joe Alt before. They took Ladd McConkey.
This is a very special night. You should be so proud of what you're doing. Thank you. This is also a very reflective night for us in the green room.
So the
especially us
Chargers
old
pick
guys.
is in.
We'll get a chance to remember our careers.
Who's it going to be?
The opportunity to thank the NFL for having us, but also the Chargers, who stuck with me during my battle with Crohn's disease, my ostomy surgery, and allowed me to play 10 years. So for all my teammates, my coaches, thank you very much for all you've done for us. So tonight, Jim Harbaugh got one of his boys.
Uh-oh. It's going to be a Michigan player.
In the 2024 NFL Draft.
Roman Wilson.
Chargers select Junior Colson.
Junior Colson. Okay, linebacker out of Michigan. Harbaugh gets one of his own for the LA Chargers. I like that a lot. I do. Good for him. Junior Colson, great story. He was adopted. You can see here on the screen with his family celebrating the selection. That's awesome. Good for him. Good for him. Up to the last pick of the night, folks, here on the live stream. Appreciate you all tuning in. All the guests have come and gone at this point. I'm just here to answer any questions you guys might have on the current picks being selected. This is the last one, though. Once the Giants make their selection, that'll be it for the night. 101 tackles this past year for Junior Colson. Out of the Big Ten, 7th in the conference. Really good sideline-to-sideline scraper. Definitely like what he brings to the table for the Wolverines. Started 29 games over the past 2 seasons. We'll see. But that is a good third-round pick, too. The fact that that guy fell to the Chargers there, early third round, very impressive. Always got to pay attention to those top 30 visits because the Giants pick is in. Any guesses in the comments section? No cheating.
Still could have a chance later to win more Michigan with 18 Michigan players at the combine this past February.
Crazy. We're up to 70 picks already.
Now going from 80
Jim Harbaugh is having a good draft, and he's extra psyched about this one. If he could draft all his players into the NFL, I'm sure he would. Got the 15-0 tattoo. Makes me sick personally as a Notre Dame fan, but hey, good for him. I already know who the Giants pick is, so I am posting it now if you want any spoilers.
as we go forward, but that's the first Michigan player drafted by the Chargers in a decade.
27 years ago, me and my identical twin brother were picked in the 1997 draft. I went as the 36th pick. My brother was the 6th pick in the 3rd round. He's now a Hall of Famer. With the 6th pick, the 70th pick overall, in the 3rd round of the
Here we go.
2024 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select quarterback Andrew Phillips, University of Kentucky.
Huge. I mean, you got to replace Adoree Jackson. Getting a day 2 corner, certainly a priority. You look, there were other holes on this team, right? Tight end, O-line. Even though they did dress O-line in free agency, they got their receiver. They got 2 secondary guys for Shane Bowen. I'm very happy about this pick. Andrew Phillips, 5'11", 190 out of Kentucky, had a career high in 45 tackles this season with 6 pass breakups. Playing in the SEC for a lackluster defense, he really stood out. So I'm definitely very happy about this pick. There's a real chance for him to start week 1 opposite of Adoree Jackson. I mean, not Adoree Jackson, Deonte Banks. So that's how interesting this pick is. I hope you like it, folks. Andrew Phillips is officially a New York Giant, and unless the Giants trade back in to the draft here, their night is done, and they'll have 3 picks remaining tomorrow. 10 pass breakups this past season. Great pick by the Giants. They've addressed 3 positions of need. Similar value to where you would think they would take them. So I'm definitely very happy about that. Folks, any questions, comments in the comments section, feel free to leave them. I'll check back at them a little bit later. And if you're new to the channel, want to check out Review and Preview, make sure to check us out on all of our social media below, scrolling across our ticker. These last 2 nights have been awesome. Appreciate you all. Shout out to my mom for the comment. Great shows last night and tonight. Happy to see the original R&P is back. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate it. And folks, without further ado, let's go Giants. Let's go to all your teams that are picking tonight. Best of luck to all of you, and we will see you very soon.